Good evening, Livonia. Welcome to the May 2nd, 2022 study session of the Livonia City Council. We will start the meeting with Councilman Brandon McCullough offering the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, Mr. McCullough. This is a study meeting. The agenda for this meeting will set, well, the action of the agenda of this meeting will set the agenda for the regular meeting on May 16 of 2022. There will be no votes taken this evening, but there will be motions made for the regular meeting on May 16th in regards to an approving, a denying, or a referring to committee of the whole. Some of those items may be offered for the consent agenda, whereby they are being indicated that they require no additional study and will be voted on as a package. We have one council absence this evening. Councilwoman Vice President Toy is not able to be here with us. I will start the meeting off by going to audience communication. If anybody in the audience would like to address the council on any item that is not on the agenda, come on up. You have 3 minutes to speak to us in regards to items that are not on the agenda. I'll ask you to start with identifying yourself. Please tell me your name and your address.
Hello, my name is Ian Edgar, and I am here to represent Anastasia and Kay's Coffee Shop and Cafe. We are located at 19215 Merriman Road, north of 7 Mile, on the west side of Merriman, next to Angels, Saints, and Stuff. We are a 501c3 nonprofit on a mission to create employment for people with disabilities. We would like to remind everyone of our upcoming car show fundraiser, Saturday, May 14th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., located in our parking lot. We will have classic and sports cars, music, and a raffle, and the cafe will be open. The event is free to the public, and we are asking $20 from each car participant. We are up to 18 cars, but we have room for 50. So please register at myworkmatters.org. That's myworkmatters.org. Or you can register the day of the event.
Thank you, sir.
May I have a question?
Go ahead.
Ian, did you get the, and I know we were working to get you a jump drive with the last meeting when you were here. Did you get that yet?
Pardon me?
You and I had talked about you're getting a jump drive with the last meeting. Did you get that? Okay, all right. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Ian. We're all looking forward to it.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Anybody else for audience communication? I see none. At this time, we'll go to the council. Does anybody on council have any announcements or comments? I see none. So at this time, we will start with the agenda items for this evening. Agenda item number 1 is the reappointment of Jeremy Curtis to the Plymouth Road Development Authority from the Office of the Mayor for a 3-year term, which will expire on May 16 of 2025.
Good evening, Council. The Mayor's Office requests your approval to reappoint Jeremy Curtis to the Plymouth Road Development Authority. You're probably all familiar with Jeremy, but here are a few facts. He graduated by bachelor's degree in civil engineering from Michigan Tech and been in the highway design industry for the past 22 years. He's been a Livonia resident for 10 years, and he's been on the PRDA for the past 6 years. His reason for joining was he wanted to make a small contribution to the city. He is married with 2 children who are both LPS students, and that's about it. He is here if you have any questions that you'd like to ask him.
Mr. Curtis, welcome.
Thank you.
What would you like to tell us? Make your pitch.
I think she said everything.
So what kind of grades did you get in college?
Not as good as I expect my kids to get. So.
Hey, I know your kids. Great kids. Anybody from the council have any motions? Ms. McIntyre?
I would like to offer an approving resolution to reappoint Mr. Curtis to the Plymouth Road Development Authority, and I'd like to ask that that be put on consent if there are no objections.
Support.
We don't need support for that. But I'm sure Mr. Curtis appreciates the support. All right, you're all set. That's an approving for consent. You know the deal. You don't have to come back.
Yep.
Thank you for your continued service.
Thank you.
Item number 2 is request to barricade city streets from Chris Inch, the Stevenson cross-country head coach, on Friday, August 19, 2022, from 12 p.m. through Saturday, August 20th, 2022, at 12 p.m. on Perth Street from Stark Road until it dead ends west of Farmington for a nighttime high school cross-country meet. Is Mr. Inch here? Okay, Mr. Inch is not here. This is actually, I'm a little bit familiar with this matter. This is actually a really cool event. We approved it last year. It was the nighttime cross-country meet that was lit up by lights. And I think they're trying to offer it for the public in general. Mr. Davis, are you able to speak to this? Sure. We had asked them if they could do this for open to the public, and I believe that's the plan for this year.
Yeah, I believe it is. Actually, last time I talked to the cross-country coach, they had completely sold out for this event tentatively, and there was an opportunity that we were looking at to offer this race to the general public as well that same night. So I believe we're asking for the Friday was the day of the event with the Saturday as a rain date. The Parks and Recreation Commission has already approved this, and it's here before council.
Thank you. Anybody from council have any motions?
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Barr?
I know we typically appreciate if they're here, but, you know, under the circumstances and with the explanation that's been given, I'll offer an approving for consent if there's no objection.
Thank you, Mr. Barr. Thank you, Mr. Davis, for
Thank you.
standing in there. It's really a great event, and I think it's going to be really cool. Number 3, a request to barricade city streets from Patty Novak on Van Court between Levan and Raleigh on Friday, July 8th, from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. in order to host a wedding reception on the grounds of Christadelphians Church. Hello, ma'am.
Hello. Nice to meet all of you.
You too, your name and address, please?
My name is Patty Novak. My address is 15586 NOLA Circle. All right, so thank you for hearing our request. I am part of our Detroit Livonia Christadelphians Ecclesia, which is our church. And our church is located on corners of Van Court and Parkdale Street. I do have a map here with the highlight of where we are requesting the barricades. Do I pass them out or?
Just hand it to Mr. Zlinsick, and he'll hand it down the way here.
All right. And, oh, actually, could I have one of those back? Thank you. All right. So we are on our street where our church actually is. We are requesting a barricade at this location, which is Raleigh and Van Court, and then just past our church entrance, which is not quite to the other corner, which is Levan and Van Court. And so this area over here, this grassy area, is our property, as well as this is where our church is located. And so we have a very small parking lot, and it fits probably about 30 cars. And we are anticipating for the wedding that we would have many more cars than 30 cars. And so often people park in our grassy area across the street here, and we would like them to be able to cross the street safely without having to worry about cars coming, especially as the evening goes on and potentially it gets a little bit darker, harder to see. There's not a lot of lighting on the street except for right at our church. So, so that is our request. If we could have that barricaded for that time period of that wedding and the reception, which will be held right on the grounds of in our facility.
Mr. Chair.
Yes?
Mr. Barr?
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, that's okay.
I was just gonna,
I was almost done.
I was just, they've been here, but I think you guys typically come before us during your VBS, right?
That's the next agenda item.
Oh, is that tonight?
Yes,
Man, I even studied for this and I forgot that already.
that's okay. Yes.
Never had any issue with it, and just with the way the church is oriented, I mean, this is not gonna be a major disruption to the neighborhood. I see no issue with this, often approving for consent if there's no objection. And I'll ask that you tell the Stiles family I said hello.
Okay, I will. Yes.
Thank you. Any audience communication? I see none. We'll move on to item number 4. Ms. Novak, that's you as well. Request to barricade streets for Christadelphians Church, same place as item number 3, on August 1st of 2022 through Friday, August 5th of 2022 to host the Vacation Bible School from 8:30 a.m. each day to 1:30 p.m.
Yes, and as Mr. Barr said, this is a request we've been making for about the last 4 years, and this has been very effective. I was part of the VBS before we barricaded, and I was one of those monitors that would make sure that the kids were safely crossing the street, and it helps so much to have the barricades up. It really makes it a lot more enjoyable for everyone involved, and the young kids can go across the street to our grassy area, which is archery, and so they have little bows and arrows, and it's very exciting for them, and they just shoot into the hay, and but it's something that they really want to go do, and so they really appreciate being able to cross safely, and we do too. And so this would be every day from Monday through Friday for several hours during the day, and we set them up in the morning, and then we take them down as soon as lunch is over.
Sounds good. Council?
Mr. President,
Mr. Donovan?
I'll offer an approving on consent if there's no objection from my colleagues.
Okay, so you're all set. You have 2 approvings on the consent agenda, means you do not have to come back to the next meeting.
All right,
Means
thank you
they're
very
all but
much.
assured to pass.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a nice evening. Item number 5 is a request to waive the city's noise ordinance from Ann Zaragoza, Board President of Loaves and Fishes, Southwest Detroit, to host a fundraising event at St. Colette Church at 17600 Newburgh Road, to include barbecue, a cash bar, and live band to perform Friday, June 10, from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Hello.
Yes, good evening. So I am representing Ann. I am Cindy Portis from St. Colette Church, and I'm here to ask your approval to waive the noise ordinance for this outdoor concert. It's a 17-piece jazz orchestra that we'll be having on the parish property. It's to help raise money for Loaves and Fishes that serves Southwest Detroit, feeds the homeless and those less fortunate. So St. Colette is acting as the host for the event.
Sounds good. Council, motion, please. Ms. McIntyre?
I will move that we, I will offer an approving resolution that we grant the request to waive the city's noise ordinance at the St. Colette event benefiting Loaves and Fishes of Southwest Detroit, and I'll ask that that be placed on consent if there are no objections from my colleagues.
Okay. So I'm a parishioner at St. Colette. I'm curious if you're going to have Father Gary out there dancing or something.
Yes, we will. He will be
Oh,
there.
you guarantee he's going to dance?
Well, I can't guarantee that, but Father Gary will be there.
All right, well, ask him if he'll dance. And We'll
Okay.
see if we can get somebody else to come.
All right.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Any audience communication? I see none. You're all set. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you, and you're all invited.
Thank you. To see Father Gary dance. No.
It's official now.
Yeah. Item number 6, a request to waive the city's noise ordinance from Randy Keatts at Shake Shack, Michigan L.L.C. to host a car show with a DJ in the parking lot at 39300 West 7 Mile Road every Monday until October, beginning Monday, May 23rd, 2022, from 4 to 8 p.m. Is Mr. Keatts here? Anybody from Shake Shack, Michigan LLC? Can I have a motion from the council? Maybe put this on the regular?
Yeah, I'll offer an approving for regular, in which hopefully that is our long-standing practice to have the petitioner explain exactly what they're looking for.
Thank you very much. We might be in a similar case with number 7 here. Item number 7 is a waiver petition from the Planning Commission, petition 2022020204, submitted by Shake Shack Michigan LLC, requesting to utilize a SDM liquor license allowing for the sale of packaged beer and wine products for consumption off the premises in conjunction with the operation of a Class C liquor license, sale of beer and wine and spirits for consumption on the premises. This was previously approved for the subject of the property pursuant to Council Resolution 228-93 in connection with the operation of a new freestanding full-service restaurant, Shake Shack, at 39300 7 Mile Road, the northeast corner of 7 Mile Road in Haggerty, in Section 6. Notification was sent to Randy Keatts from Shake Shack. What's your name, sir?
Hi, good evening. Patrick Howe, a legal counsel for Shake Shack, Michigan.
Okay, so you're taking 7, but not 6, huh?
I was expecting them to be here. Yeah, I don't have any information on the car show.
I understand. All right, sir, what do you got to tell us?
Thank you. Patrick Howe again, legal counsel for Shake Shack, Michigan. I've handled their liquor licensing and zoning in Michigan for all their locations. They recently opened this location in Livonia. It's open and operating without the sale of alcohol. They've been approved for a Class C liquor license and an SDM liquor license by the Michigan Liquor Control Commission. An SDM liquor license allows for the sale of beer and wine to go. That is why we're here this evening, asking for waiver use approval. The Planning Commission unanimously approved the waiver use petition. And the purpose of this is really the modern restaurant does a high volume of takeout, and that's food and beer and wine. And the SDM liquor license allows them to do takeout beer and wine either to go when you come in and take your food away. Employees can deliver it, or there's a slew of third-party facilitators, is the legal term in Michigan, that handle deliveries for licensed establishments. So you go on an app, you order a hamburger, 2 beers, and they can ship it to your house under Michigan's liquor laws. So that's the purpose. They operate all the other stores in Michigan and where they can nationally with alcoholic beverage licenses, both on-premise and to-go. They have an excellent operating record. I've represented them for many years in the state of Michigan, and they have very serious protocols for service to minors, service to intoxicated, so you're getting a very responsible operator. All of my restaurants that I handle throughout the state, Shake Shack and otherwise, all of them ask for this beer wine license to go. It's just a modern part of an on-premise restaurant is to offer beer and wine to go. So we ask for your support tonight. Happy to answer any questions you have. I appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you. Mr. Donovic.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thanks for being here tonight, sir. Can you help explain how the alcoholic beverage are packaged? And I'm assuming they're in a glass bottle, individually packaged. Can you shed some light there?
Sure. If it's to go, it's most likely in a can.
Okay.
Wine, it would be a bottle of wine. The menu of alcoholic beverages that they serve is very limited, so it's a select assortment. I'd say 2 to 5 different types of beer and 3 to 4 types of wine. So it's not a huge selection. There's not a cooler or anything where you can take it to go. It's you order at a kiosk, they prepare your food and any alcohol, and they call your name and you take it to go.
So in other words, they're not, getting a styrofoam cup with a straw filled up with an alcoholic beverage.
No.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate your answers.
Mr. McCullough.
Thank you, Council President. We've had items like this in the past. I think it's a standard practice. I don't see any issue with this. And in the last, I think, couple months or 3 months that this business has been open, it seems to be doing very well, and we're happy to have them on the corner. For matters, I'll offer an approving for regular, if there are no objections.
Ms. McIntyre?
Yeah, I'd like that to be on the regular, thank you. So maybe and through the chair to actually I'm gonna go to Mark first. Mark, do we have other restaurants like Shake Shack where we have a drive-through that offer alcoholic beverages to go?
Yeah, so that is not something that Shake Shack will be allowed to do, nor any other food serving establishment within the city that has
Okay.
drive-up operations. So they're excluded from doing that through the drive-up. And I just will point out 3 other things as it relates to this petition. There are 2 special requirements that apply, both of which are met by the Shake Shack. Number 1, that they're not within 500 feet of another SDM licensed establishment. And the other is that they not be located within 400 feet of a church, a house of worship, or school property. And then lastly, the Planning Commission is recommending that the waiver in the case of the SDM be limited to Shake Shack only and not be transferable unless the council approves it.
Now, could I go through you to the
Yes, ma'am.
petitioner? So, this will be to go, right? Not through drive-through, through drive-up, or through Grubhub. But it will also, consumption will be permitted in the restaurant,
Right, so,
right?
so the waiver use is already in place, my understanding, Mr. Chairman, the waiver use for on-premise consumption is already in place due to the prior establishment that was there. So we're amending that waiver use to add to-go sales of beer and wine.
Okay,
Yeah.
I do have a question, and I've only been through the drive-through. Is Shake Shack, is it where you order and then you wait to get your food, or you order and then the food's brought to your table?
If you're dining in,
If you're dining in, I'm sorry.
you order and they call up your number and then you go get it and take it to your table.
So and I understand that the waiver for in premises follows through, but I still have a question, because this is a different kind of restaurant. So what does Shake Shack, what safeguards or operating processes does Shake Shack have in place to ensure that the people consuming the alcohol at the table are of age? And this is different from other table service restaurants, right? You know, when the Macaroni Grill was there, the alcohol gets served to me at the table. I don't take it back to the table. So if you've got, you know, two 21-year-olds and two 19-year-olds, and the 22-year-olds order beer or wine for consumption on the premises, how does Shake Shack make sure that the 21-year-olds and not the 20-year-olds who are consuming the alcoholic beverages in the restaurant?
It's no different than any other restaurant. You have staff monitoring the restaurant at all times. You have trained staff serving the persons that ordered it. You have trained staff that are selling the alcohol,
But they
ringing
pick
up.
it up, right? I
Yeah.
pick up my whole order at the counter.
Understood, but that risk
So
occurs.
there's a lot less hands and eyes on and presence at the table where alcohol is being consumed than there is at a table service restaurant.
Arguably, yes.
Okay.
But, I mean, it's really no different than, you have many bars, many establishments.
No, I
You know,
understand.
and it's such a small amount of alcohol that's served here. It's not a bar. It's just a complimentary, you know, addition to the food that they're known for,
No,
milkshakes that they're known for.
I understand. I
But,
understand that.
they take the service of alcohol very responsibly, and they, you know, have an excellent record. I don't think they have any sales to minors in the state of Michigan. So it's an excellent record
But
across the board.
I'm not asking about sales to minors. I'm asking about sales to people of age and then consumption at the table by minors.
Well, sale to minors is the same as consumption by minor.
Well, it's not, but thank you.
We have an approving for the regular agenda. Do I have any audience communication? I have none. So at this point, I'm going to have to tell you, we're going to need you back on May 16th.
Okay?
And maybe your client will be here at that time as well for their,
Yeah, I'll reach out to them.
The car show?
I had nothing to do with the car show petition.
No,
Is there
I
anything else that I could bring with me to address the waiver use that would help the board consider it at the regular meeting?
I don't believe so. Just bring anything you think might be helpful for the discussion.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay.
Item number 8 is a waiver petition from the Planning Commission, petition 2022-030207, submitted by Clover Self Storage, requesting to operate a truck and trailer rental business in conjunction with the existing climate-controlled indoor self-storage facility and outdoor storage yard for recreational vehicles at 28900 Schoolcraft Road in the southwest quarter of Section 24. Notification of need to attend was sent to Jeff Johnson of Clover Self Storage. Is he here? No, but we got Mr. Toromina. You got anything to say about this?
Unfortunately, I just communicated with the petitioner, and they're unable to get here in time for the discussion, but this is similar to the Livonia budget storage request, same type of facility, indoor climate-controlled facility. In this case, it's Clover Storage on Schoolcraft Road. They appeared before the Planning Commission at their last meeting and received approval for 7 U-Haul vehicles that would be stored along the north property line. This is something that was negotiated with the Planning Commission. It was felt that that would be the most appropriate location. Additionally, there are 3 spaces near the concierge island, which is in the front of the site, that they felt would be a good location for the return of the vehicles after hours. So the approval was granted, and is the reason why it's before you this evening.
Thank you, sir. Any motions from the council, even to put it on a regular, so we can, go ahead, Mr. Barr.
I'll offer an approving. I think, well, I guess we'll put it on the regular. They'll be here next time. We can save any comments for them.
Sounds good. Any audience communication? I see none. Item number 9, an award of bid from the Inspection Department for the 2022-2025 weed cutting and property maintenance program from budgeted funds. Mr. Hanna, good evening.
Good evening, Council. Jerome Hanna, Director of Inspection and Ordinance. We are out for bid again for our tall grass and weed contract, and would be seeking an award to Highland Landscape and Snow Plowing out of Northville, and at a 5 cents unit price per cut per square yard, and a $34 an hour labor fee if needed for pickup.
Thank
It'd be
you,
a
sir.
3-year contract.
Thank you. Any motions from the council? Mr. Barr,
I've got a couple questions, if I may.
go ahead.
Jerome, 2 questions. One, is it bothersome that there's only 1 bid on here, or is there a good reason for that? I mean, I know you guys reached out and we only got 1, but
Yeah, well, we've got a couple. We ended up bidding it twice. Got one bid each time. It is concerning, but in the atmosphere that we're in right now, I'm not overly concerned with that. This is that type of work that you need to be involved in. It's not something that if you're used to cutting properties weekly, on a weekly basis, manicured lawns, this is hard on equipment. It's a lot of effort. You're not going to the same place every week. You know, there's a lot of different issues that come up with this type of cutting.
so when you say this environment, are you just speaking to worker shortages?
Yeah,
or-
worker shortages. It's, you know, this is, you know, if I have my employees and I can send them to a consistent job to be cut weekly, obviously that's where my business is gonna be. To start taking on additional employees right now to cover these type of jobs, I think is difficult in this environment.
I should never say 2 questions because I have another one.
That's right.
Are these prices consistent with what you would have expected?
Yeah, we're 1 cent up from our last contract per square yard, so it ends up being, if we base it on 1 million square yards being cut, which it ends up being 50,000 versus 40,000 for the.
And then these costs are essentially passed through too, right?
Absolutely. The property owners are billed, and if not, it's placed on the taxes.
Okay, I'll offer an approving for consent if there's no objection.
Any audience communication? I see none. You know, Mr. Hanna, out of all the department heads, you visit us the least. And I was looking over here at Mr. Termina, there's an empty seat right next to him. We'd be happy to have you.
I'll be back before you next couple meetings, so,
All right. Thank you, sir.
thank you.
All right, number 10, a request for authorization to waive the sealed bid process and purchase from the sole source provider, coming to us from Parks and Rec, to replace the well-worn fitness equipment with Octane fitness equipment from budgeted funds. Mr. Davis.
Thank you, Council President Jolly. Again, we are asking that council waive the bidding process as Octane fitness equipment. There's only 1 provider in our area that does this. We would gain no benefit by competitively bidding this. We're looking to purchase 2 Octane ellipticals and 2 Octane XR 6000s with swivel. And I did want to bring up as well, this is the first time we have purchased new equipment since 2019. We went without it in 20, we went without it in 21, and we are purchasing a little more than normal here in 22. I'm happy to answer any questions council might have on this.
Mr. Barr.
Dad, the same question I have for this, I'm going to have for the next item, so
Okay.
we can probably just handle it all at once. I understand there's sole source provider for Octane. On the next item, it's for Precor. Are there not other brands that we can look at?
There are other brands for sure that make some of these equipment. Some of these are specific, and it's really, I trust the people that work for me, right? Our fitness coordinators, our personal trainers, our instructors. These are the people that they get together, and this is what they specify they want. That's what it really boils down to. So while a piece may be similar, this is the brand that they've asked for, and that's what I'm up here representing.
Yeah, I can appreciate that. It's hard for me, though, to look at, and sorry, I have the next item in front of me, but prices on the order of oh, here we go. Yeah, in the neighborhood of $10,000, and it may not be much difference, but if there's another brand out there that's $7,000, that's great that people want $10,000, but I think have we looked at all to see if there's alternatives?
What brand of shoes do you wear, Councilman Barr?
I couldn't even tell you.
Okay, but I mean, if you wear Nikes, if that's
I
what
guess my
you're
basketball
comfortable
shoes are
with.
Nikes, yeah.
Okay, but certainly Reebok makes shoes, and Converse makes shoes, and Fila, and lots of other brands.
If Reebok sells them for half the price of Nike, I'm probably buying the Reeboks.
Well, I mean, some people would simply want what actually fits them the best as well, regardless of price. I understand it's not regardless of price, but we're trying to buy the best pieces we can for our clients at the rec center.
Yeah, I'd like to better understand, though, what some of the alternatives are out there and what the advantages of these are.
Okay.
So, anyway, I don't know if anybody else has any.
Anybody else from the council? Mr. Morgan?
Yes, I have a question. These, I see, and I've kind of sped ahead also for the next item, but do any of these have warranties on them that are?
They all have 2-year warranties on these pieces of equipment, where a local provider provides all the service on them. We usually try to swap out every 3 years, so the third year, we actually pay for the service on it, but the first 2 years are covered with the piece.
Okay.
Mr. McCullough?
Only question, thank you.
Thank you, Council President. Through the chair to Mr. Davis. I'm noticing that there's trade-in values on these.
There is.
The units that we would be trading in, are they of the same brand?
That I can't tell you. I know we are replacing some of the Precor equipment.
Okay.
I'm not sure about the Octane because we have only limited numbers of those.
I'm going to go with the trusting what you guys say and all the professionals. The equipment that's in there seems to be very loved, and in this case, loved too much that we need to replace it. So I'll be offering approving. I'll throw it on regular, just so we can gain some more information from my colleague.
Mr. President?
Mr. Donovan?
I'm sorry if this was answered or not. What was the surcharge for again? It's $1,400. What was that for?
Probably shipping.
Surcharge.
Yeah, the surcharge on the actual quote for the All Pro Fitness things? There's a surcharge, $1,496.30.
I am unsure what the surcharge is. I see a trade-in. I do not understand the surcharge on here. I do see the freight and delivery. I will ask. I will
Yeah, the
find
bottom
out.
line is $19,116.30, and in between trade-in and freight and delivery, I have a surcharge, $1,496. Just wasn't sure what that was for.
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. Thank you, Council President.
Anybody from the audience?
Mr. Chair, can I say one more thing,
Yeah,
please?
Mr. Barr?
Just for the benefit of council, quick Google search. I am not an expert in this area, so there's probably things I'm not missing. But quick Google search of this equipment and what it's available for does not give me higher confidence that we need to be approving at these prices. So, Mr. Davis, please persuade me otherwise in the next couple weeks. But I need comfort that we're not paying exorbitant prices for these things, because quick Google search indicates that we might be. Thanks.
Okay, audience? I see none. Mr. Davis, I guess the one question that I would toss out here is just, I'm sure that there's a differentiator between commercial equipment such as this and
There is.
residential equipment. Maybe being able to outline the price differences that we might be, I understand what Mr. Barr is saying here, but maybe kind of give us some defining characteristics of what that might be.
Absolutely. Well, most of it goes on actually the load that will bear the engine or the motor that's on the piece of equipment for some of these, and also just the number of hours it will be warranted for and capable of use. Your Peloton at home is a great bike.
I'm looking at the exact same brand, exact same model number. So maybe
Okay.
I'm missing something. I just need more information.
All right?
My Peloton at home is not getting many hours of use.
That is the issue.
Just one thing to touch on, and I'm sure you already have, but literally just Googling too, is Sourcewell does have a cooperative purchasing agreement for, it looks to be the same series. I'd be happy to forward that on. Maybe you could have more competitive pricing.
Absolutely.
Okay, we got an approving for the regular there with some information to come. Item number 11 is very similar, request for authorization to waive the sealed bid process. and purchase from sole source provider, Department of Parks and Rec, to replace well-worn fitness equipment with Precor fitness equipment from budgeted funds. Mr. Davis?
Thank you. Again, we're asking that council waive the formal bid process and go with their Precor that staff had specified and deal with this with Direct Fitness Solutions, which is the only authorized Precor dealer in the state. I'm happy to answer any questions council might have on this.
Motions?
I'll offer an approving for regular.
Thank you. Any audience communication? Mr. Davis, you know, please do the same homework with this item.
Will
I'm sure
do.
you will. Okay.
Thank
item
you.
Thank you, sir. Item number 12, request to amend the engineering service contract through the QBS qualification-based selection process with OHM Advisors for engineering services for the MEDC grant for Bell Creek Bank stabilization from the engineering division for the same, referencing Council Resolution 95-22. Mr. Zalinsek.
Good evening, Council President, City Council members. This item before us has been in OHM's wheelhouse for several years. Obviously, they're the experts. We tried back in 2010 to get a grant through the federal government to help the stream bank stabilization. At that time, it was unsuccessful, coming off the economy and downturn. So, as you know, we were able to council approve the MEDC grant, and we're looking to take that funding and spend $50,000, of which $35,000 will be for design to go get survey, help get these permits approved through Eagle to stabilize the Bell Creek, and also look to construct it either later this year or first thing next spring, depending on the permits. I do have Brett Groenvelt, the principal from OHM Advisors, who's be assisting us in this task, and again, appreciate the team that's been ongoing with this problem since early 2000s, whatever, but again, tried a couple bites at the apple to get the stream bank stabilized, whatever, but now we have the opportunity to take the funding between $150,000 to $200,000 to eventually address the problem and work with OHM on the design and construction phase of this project. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ms. McIntyre?
Given that we have a contract with OHM for this kind of work, and it's on a QBS, it's selected through a QBS process, it certainly seems appropriate that we would contract with OHM or amend the contract to include this work in OHM's scope of work. And as always, we appreciate the work that they do, and we appreciate the fact that Mr. Groenevelt is here this evening in the event that we have any questions, and as always, doesn't indicate that our business is ever taken for granted. So I'd like to put that on consent if there are no
Okay.
objections.
We have an approving for consent. I see nobody else from the council. Audience communication, I see none. That concludes our agenda for this evening. I'll go to the council. Any announcements or comments? I see none.
Yes.
Oh, Ms. McIntyre.
Happy Mother's Day to all mothers and to everyone who may not have biological children but serves in a mothering or nurturing capacity. And if our colleague Laura Toy were here, I'm sure she would remind us to get your flowers and your flower orders in early for Mother's Day.
Thank you. That's a good catch there. We don't want to make the moms mad.
We don't.
Audience, I see no audience communication. I will adjourn the meeting. Good night, Livonia. Be well.